tuning into Eskimo TV, your home for icy and chilly movie reviews. I'm your host, Jason Escamilla. Today I'm reviewing Assassination Nation, which is directed by Sam Levinson. And Jumpin' Jehoshaphat, this movie sucks. This movie is a complete piece of garbage. This movie has so many what the fudge moments, so let's talk about it, because I wrote pages of notes as to why this movie is terrible. And here's the sad thing. The premise that this movie has is actually quite interesting. The plot involves a group of high school girls in a small town called Salem, and out of nowhere, an anonymous hacker exposes everyone's photos, videos, and text messages that they've exchanged with others, which ends up causing havoc and violence to spread throughout the entire city. Look, I liked the premise of this movie. The idea that all of your private things that are on your phone are now public is an extremely terrifying idea. I would have enjoyed seeing an emotional thrill ride with relatable characters responding to real conflict against other fleshed out characters, but instead this movie uses the premise to explode into a violent horror fiesta where character after character whose motives you don't even understand are just overreacting to everything that's going on. In other words, this movie's just extremely unrealistic. There's a scene where parents are kicking their high school daughter out because they've discovered that she's sent nude photos of herself, and the way they go about it is so stupid. They ask her, "Did you send those pictures? Be honest." And the teenager, who clearly feels guilty, tells them, "No, don't make me tell you. Please, don't make me do this." She's crying hysterically, so she obviously sent the photos, right? That's what any normal person would conclude. But not these parents. They keep persisting. "Hey, you need to tell us the truth. Did you send those naughty pictures?" Finally, this character confesses, and the mom literally grabs her daughter's hand and drags her out of the house. This girl is wailing, "Dad, help me!" And the scene just seems so flopping fake. I can go on and on about so many psychotic choices that are made in this movie. Like, there's a dude who forces his girlfriend on the ground while his friend puts her in a chokehold, and he's checking for something on her, and at the end of the scene he tells her, "I'm gonna tell everyone that you've been sleeping around." There's an officer who's wrongfully and without proof accusing one of the characters like an immature police cop, shouting, "Where are you at? We're gonna find you and lock you up." And the ending is just the most outrageous, violent scene. I couldn't believe why the town decided to do what they do without questioning if what they all learned, what is making them extremely upset, is true or not. They don't go looking for evidence. They just believe anything that they're told. All the main characters get red jackets out of nowhere, and they go out like divas, ready to just blow up the people who are trying to kill them. In the end, ladies and gentlemen, I just did not care about any of the characters. There was not one character that I could root for. The main character is clearly the one narrating, whose name is Lily, played by the brave Odessa Young, but there wasn't enough in this to really get behind her or her friends. Instead, this movie tries to cause jaw drops by having crazy characters engaging in overblown violence. The editing is atrocious as it tries to have its own unique style by using split screens and very offsetting 80s rock music. But this just added to how fake this movie felt. There's a scene where a principal's trying to explain himself after his phone is made public and it's revealed that there's some inappropriate content, some inappropriate pictures, and I would have liked to see what this character had to say. But instead, the crowd is just yelling at him, "Boo!" It's just so cliche, they won't let him talk. There's music blaring in the background. And the most annoying part of this scene is that it's randomly showing cutaway clips to some of the high school girls at some hangout or a party of some sort. And I'm just sitting there, just bewildered by what's going on. Like, why are you showing us this right now? This principal's speech could have been an interesting moment, but instead it was a giant mess that seemed largely ingenuine. The only redeeming quality of this movie is that you probably won't be completely bored. Despite how bad this movie is, it's so bad and tries so hard to make your jaw drop that I can see people being entertained by how terrible the film is, or at least by the extravagant violent characters, if senseless fighting is enough to make you be entertained by a movie. I'm gonna give Assassination Nation a big flopping F. Folks, I will admit that I did not like this film. I hated this film more than most people did. In fact, this movie isn't doing too terrible on Rotten Tomatoes right now. So my final piece of advice is that if you can abandon reality and enjoy or tolerate overdramatic characters, this film might be worth checking out. But despite it being a kids movie, The House with a Clock on Its Walls is the better new release option for sure. This upcoming week, I will be reviewing Ike Barinholtz's directorial debut film called The Oath, as well as the novel adaptation of The Hate You Give. You can also follow me at Eskimo TV on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I love talking about movies, but one thing I love more is talking about movies with you. So if you have a question or have an opinion that you'd like to share regarding Assassination Nation, leave a comment so we can have an ongoing conversation. And if you enjoyed this review, make sure you click right here and subscribe for more icy and chilly Eskimo TV reviews.